Coming up on Mountain News this morning, members of an Eastern Kentucky living and travel trailer celebrate their bond by having a Thanksgiving meal. And before you feed your pets any of your Thanksgiving leftovers, you need to think twice about what you're about to give them.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. The time is now 6:01, and let's check in with Brandon Robinson for a look at your forecast this morning.
Olivia, it is Black Friday. People are hitting the streets and getting those deals, but for the most part this morning, you're going to be dealing with some rain if you're going early. Let's take a look at the satellite radar loop. Kind of formed overnight. It was light at first, and now it's kind of picking up just a little bit, but still fairly light across most of the region. Some heavier bands moving through parts of the region. We'll keep you posted on that as we get a little bit more information in. 52 Pikeville, 53 Prestonsburg, 50 London and Somerset, Irvin 2, along with Moorhead and Hazard, Wise as well, 44 Clintwood, 48 Williamsburg, Jacksboro, and Harlan this morning. A little extra because it's early and because, again, if you're out shopping, you're going to need a little boost. And then, of course, because it's Friday on the holiday week, and a lot of folks getting up and getting moving this morning. Maybe grab you a donut on the way out the door, or if you're already out the door, stop by and get you some donuts somewhere. But you're going to see cloudy skies all the way to the afternoon before temperatures start to rebound in the mid-50s and maybe some late day sunshine. Olivia?
Thank you, Brandon. About 2 months ago, we told you a story about Eddyville, a Whitesburg community and travel trailers that bonded after surviving the flood. WYMT's Chandler Wilcox revisited Eddyville yesterday as survivors held a Thanksgiving meal celebrating their friendship.
Thanksgiving 2022 is a little different than past years for flood survivors in Whitesburg.
I've been working at this for about 2-3 months, and I had it in my imagination on how I wanted it to look like.
From the travel trailers they're calling temporary homes, flood survivors came together for a feast and games to celebrate each other's perseverance.
Thanksgiving means a lot to me and my family, and it's always been about family. And all these guys are like family to us because we've been through everything together.
Limited amount of cooking supplies did not stop them from setting out every dish possible, even the most gooey options.
I knew they was planning it. Yeah, they overdo everything.
This might be the last holiday alive survivors in Eddyville spend together. After all, everything they have been through lately has been nothing short of memorable in good and bad ways.
We come in as strangers, but we all be leaving as family.
While the tragedy sent them into trailers, what was thought to be totally temporary has turned into everlasting friendship and memories. In Eddyville, Chandler Wilcox, WYMT Mountain News.
The One Church organization gathered at the Appalachian Wireless Arena on Thursday. One Church is comprised of several churches across Eastern Kentucky whose common goal was to ensure nobody went hungry on Thanksgiving. More than 1,000 volunteers have donated their time during the past few days to prepare and serve more than 12,000 meals. Lee Upchurch says they are already planning for next year.
We're seeing, what's working, what's not working, because, when you serve 12,000 meals, that's a logistical operation right there. So, a lot of logistics go in, a lot of planning, a lot of fundraising. So we're just getting ready for that, and it's just such a great time to be alive.
Upchurch says meals have increased every year since the organization was founded. In 2021, the organization did just more than 10,000 meals and have increased by 2,000 in only 1 year. Now to a heartwarming story out of Lexington. Judy Wright has been waiting 2 decades to see her grandson, and finally she got the chance this holiday season. Andrew Story's mother is from Panama, and she took him with her when he was a baby. Because of other circumstances, Judy lost contact with the family and could not find them. But Andrew came back to the States and joined the military. And about 1 month ago, he finally reconnected with his grandmother.
So he's been looking for me since he's been in the military, but he's been stationed in Germany and just got back stateside not too long ago. So I'm all excited. I think we'll probably not sleep much, trying to catch up on where he's been and what he's done.
Judy says they spent Thanksgiving watching soccer, sharing stories, and sightseeing around Lexington. Around the holidays, veterinarians report an uptick in sick animals after they get their paws on the wrong foods. Eating foods that are too fatty or too spicy can cause pets to develop pancreatitis or have serious cases of diarrhea and vomiting.
Well, there's a lot of things they shouldn't have. Garlic, onions, raisins, grapes, pumpkin pie filling with seasonings in it. You know, things like that. Anything fatty, no turkey skin, no ham, anything with a whole lot of spices or anything like that is a bad idea.
Experts say there are some things that our four-legged friends can eat, like a plain piece of sweet potato or white potato. This is usually the time doctors begin to wonder what kind of COVID spike they will see after the holidays. But this year is different. COVID is not the only respiratory illness causing problems. David Mattingly talked with doctors who say they have never seen a year like this.
Thanksgiving 2022 is a confluence of contagions. The flu is on a rampage. Parents are still wary of RSV and its impact on young children. And of course, there's always COVID.
When kids are back in school and people are back at work and the masking guidelines are falling away, and really the guard is down again.
Trends tracked by Norton Healthcare paint a mixed picture of holiday risks. The positivity rate for COVID cases at 7.3% has remained consistent for 2 months. The positivity rate for RSV is at 8.47%. That number has been falling for 5 weeks. The flu, however, is another story. A 2% positivity rate 5 weeks ago has jumped now to 50%.
Between the ages of 5 and 65, I would put COVID and flu at the top priority of your list at the moment, flu in particular.
It is a new twist on holiday health concerns. After years of COVID warnings about holiday gatherings, state maps show COVID in retreat, with most of Kentucky counties in the green. But look at what's happening with the flu. The red marks counties where the flu is on the rise.
They, have the fevers, they have the body aches, they don't feel good, they're not able to eat or drink enough to keep up their, fluid intake. They have their cough and cold symptoms. They feel sick.
But not all viruses are equal. The flu is not as transmissible as RSV, and it's less likely to land you in the hospital as COVID. Still, that may not make you feel any better if you catch any of them.
COVID is causing more problems than the flu is, that is for sure. But they're both going to make you feel pretty bad.
Health experts say both the flu and COVID are prevented from spreading in the same way: vaccines, hand washing, and masks. The holidays are a joyous time for many, but for some, this time of year can be a nightmare. Adam Maggard with Kentucky River Community Care says for people in recovery or active addiction, grief, returning home to where their addiction began, or other triggering factors can make the holidays especially hard. If your loved one is in recovery, it is important to provide them with a supportive environment during the holiday season.
Just be kind, supportive, and understanding. It's there's a fine line between helping and enabling. So you want to help someone, but you don't want to enable them to make it easier to use.
Health experts say if you are in recovery, it is important to come up with a game plan before holiday gatherings, which means preparing what you will say if someone offers you drugs or alcohol.
The forecast this morning here as we approach 6:10, a bit on the soggy side for you early morning Black Friday shoppers. Let's take a look and see what's going on out there. Live pinpoint Doppler radar. Anywhere you see darker green is probably a heavier band of rain, but still light overall. And you see the western counties already trying to clear out. So that is a good sign for later today. Maybe not so much just right now. Temperatures still fairly mild out there, but they continue to drop. Looks like our hot spot now is Prestonsburg at 53, followed by Logan and Pikeville at 52, 51 in Jackson and Ashland, and a lot of 50s out there across the region this morning. Clintwood on the other side of the scale is at 44 this morning. State and region-wide, 48 Carbondale, Illinois. Cincinnati, Ohio is at 49, 47 in the Tri-Cities of East Tennessee and Southwest Virginia, and 54 in the Music City down into Nashville. 12-hour planner for today. Yep, it's getting darker earlier. 5:17 sunset, sunrise 7:24. The rain, though, should wrap up by the time we get to right around lunchtime, and the skies gradually clear. You might even see some late day sunshine if you're lucky. Olivia?
Thanks, Brandon, and thanks for joining Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. Coming up next, if you fall into a food coma after devouring some of your Thanksgiving leftovers, make sure not to blame the turkey too much. We'll tell you why in just a few minutes.